The president weighed in on this, by the way, Melissa, just moments ago, tweeting out the following quote: Dems have been complaining for months and months about Director Comey. Now that he has been fired, they pretend to be aggrieved. Phony hypocrites. That part of the message from Sanders in the White House press briefing this afternoon as well. Melissa?
Phony hypocrites in Washington? What?
Who would have
I
thought,
can't believe it. Blake, thank you.
Like hypocrites is not enough.
Right,
They had to be phony hypocrites. Here
right.
now to react is Danny Coulson. He's former FBI Deputy Assistant Director. Danny, great to see you. Let's go back to that July 5th presser at which Comey laid out the case for Hillary's gross negligence with regard to her emails. Now, before we get into the substance of that press conference, just the look of it really bothered a lot of FBI agents. And here's what Rod Rosenstein said. He's the guy who came out with this report that led to the firing of Comey. He said, "We do not hold press conferences to release derogatory information about the subject of a declined criminal investigation. It is a textbook example of what federal prosecutors and agents are taught not to do." Is that true?
Absolutely. You know, the whole thing should have been done by a grand jury. And if you remember, the department would not let the FBI have a grand jury. Had it been done by a grand jury, we have Rule 6E, which constitutes grand jury secrecy. Nothing would have been released. If the grand jury decided to indict or not to indict, nobody would have known about it. They would just
that's
know
the style of the thing.
That was inappropriate.
FBI agents agree the style was awful, but the substance of that meeting in which he announced there wasn't enough evidence to indict, about that, Rosenstein said the following. Again, he's a career guy from Justice Department who wrote the report that led to Comey's firing. He said the goal of a federal criminal investigation is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to justify a federal criminal prosecution, then allow a federal prosecutor who exercises authority delegated by the Attorney General to make a prosecutorial decision, and then, if prosecution is warranted, let the judge and jury determine the facts. Comey did not do that. He went completely around the Justice Department, to which you say?
He didn't have the authority to do that. If he wants to make prosecutive decisions, stay at the Department of Justice. The FBI does not do that. It's bounded into our head from the time we enter the academy. Our job is to, under the Constitution, develop information, develop facts, and give it to a judicial process, whether it's the United States Attorney or somebody else. It was not his job to do it, and I think that was his major failing.
Now, Danny, a lot of people are looking to a possible successor. Some names have been listed. I want to ask you to chime in. But the question that Democrats are asking, if there is an FBI investigation, the president says there's not an investigation against him, but if there's some investigation going on, will it continue to go on despite a new director, even if that new director has Republican conservative leanings?
Absolutely. I did the Iran-Contra investigation. I voted for Ronald Reagan. I admire the National Security Council, but I investigated that case, and our agents did with great vigor. It doesn't matter basically what the political process is or what's going on. All they want to do is find out what happened, report it to the proper authority, and move on. It's not going to affect that investigation one scintilla.
By the way, they're giving me a rap so quickly. You were there also when William Sessions was fired. Did that disrupt FBI operations at all?
No, not one bit. I was the deputy at the time. It did not. And I talked to the director every day. It didn't affect anything we did. We have a job to do. We know our mission.
Right.
The FBI is a very professional organization. We're going to do it.
God bless you and your service. Danny Coulson, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.